Thank you for listening to today's episode of Medical Device Global Market Access by Pure Global. The host is speaking. A significant shift is underway in the United Kingdom's approach to medical device regulation. On June 19, 2026, the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, or MHRA, closed its crucial stakeholder impact survey on the Draft Medical Devices Amendment Regulations 2026. This draft legislation signals a major strategic pivot for post-Brexit Great Britain, and its central proposal, an international reliance pathway, could fundamentally reshape market access strategies for manufacturers worldwide. The core of this proposed reform is the introduction of a framework that would allow the MHRA to rely on approvals from specific, trusted international regulators, instead of requiring a full independent review for a UKCA mark. The MHRA could grant market access based on a pre-existing authorization from designated authorities. The draft regulations explicitly name 3 comparable regulators whose approvals would be recognized: the United States Food and Drug Administration (FDA), Health Canada, and Australia's Therapeutic Goods Administration (TGA). This is a departure from the previous reliance on the EU's CE marking and establishes a new, independent pathway for devices to enter the markets of England, Scotland, and Wales. This proposal directly affects all medical device manufacturers aiming to place or keep their products on the Great Britain market. It is particularly advantageous for companies that have already secured market authorization in the US, Canada, or Australia. For these manufacturers, the path to UKCA marking could become significantly faster and less burdensome, reducing duplicative regulatory reviews and associated costs. Conversely, manufacturers who have historically relied solely on CE marking for UK market access will need to pay close attention, as this new framework prioritizes alignment with other global partners and solidifies the UK's independent regulatory identity. While the stakeholder feedback window closed on June 19, 2026, the legislative process is still in motion. The MHRA is now tasked with analyzing the feedback received from industry, healthcare providers, and patient groups to finalize the regulations. The government's stated timeline anticipates that the final legislation will be laid before Parliament, with the goal of it entering into force in June 2027. This gives the industry a 1-year window to prepare for these new rules. It is crucial to understand that this reliance pathway is not an automatic approval. Manufacturers will still need to submit an application to the MHRA, provide evidence of their international approval, and comply with UK-specific requirements, such as appointing a UK responsible person and adhering to post-market surveillance obligations. So what should regulatory and quality teams be doing now? We recommend several practical actions. First, if your company holds approvals from the FDA, Health Canada, or the TGA, begin a portfolio assessment. Identify which of your devices could be prime candidates for this new reliance pathway and start organizing the necessary documentation. Second, actively monitor communications from the MHRA. The final text of the regulations and subsequent guidance documents will contain critical details about the submission process, required evidence, and any specific conditions or limitations. Third, do not neglect post-market surveillance and vigilance. The MHRA has emphasized that even under a reliance model, it will maintain robust oversight of all devices on the UK market. Ensure your post-market systems are prepared to meet UK-specific reporting requirements. Finally, incorporate this potential change into your global regulatory strategy. This new pathway may make Great Britain a more attractive early launch market for products first approved in the US, Canada, or Australia. Navigating these evolving global regulations can be complex, and the final details of the UK's international reliance pathway will be critical for market access planning. If your team needs assistance with developing a UK regulatory strategy, acting as your UK responsible person, or managing technical file submissions, please check out Pure Global. We specialize in helping medtech companies achieve and maintain global market access. For more information and to explore our free AI-powered regulatory tools and device database, visit our website. You can find links in the description. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.